kind of bored, so looking up new recipes lately. Today I'm going to attempt to make halawa, which is kind of a Lebanese dessert that I've been buying. This stuff here comes from Lebanon, and it's really good, but due to the COVID and no flights in, no flights out, this is all the halawa that I have left, and I'm really starting to get nervous about my supply. So I figured out, looked up a couple of recipes on how to make it. This is Lebanese, right from Lebanon, made by Al-Wadi Al-Akshadari. So it sounds pretty authentic. So I got that going for me. The ingredients are a little tiny bit of rose water. This is confectioner's sugar. This is powdered milk, which is awful. It's horrid when you make milk, but for recipes it's pretty good. And this is tahini, which anyone that makes tabbouleh or that makes hummus knows it's just ground sesame seeds and oil. So what I'm going to do first is take the sugar and the dry milk and mix it together. Everything is 1 to 1 to 1. So I only had 3/4 of a cup of tahini, so I have 3/4 of a cup of dry, 3/4 of a cup of dry. So I'm going to just mix this together so the dry is incorporated. Powdered milk, confectioner's sugar. Okay. Instead of making it in a huge chunk and then cutting up, I have these little candy forms from somewhere, and I'm going to try something different and stick it in the forms. Otherwise, you put it in a container, refrigerate it, and, 3-4 hours, whatever, you can eat it. Probably the next day is better. So I have the powdered milk mixed up with the confectioner's sugar. I'm going to put the tahini right in. Okay, isn't that super? And you got to make do with this virus. If this whole joint shuts down, I got to start making my favorite foods. So this is ridiculous. Today I made 2 apple pies. First 2 pies I made in my entire life. 58 years old, but who's counting? And you're not going to believe it, but this is how they turned out. Super cool. First 2, we'll see if they're any good. You never know. Okay, so back to the recipe. 3/4 of a cup of dry milk, 3/4 of a cup of confectioner's sugar, 3/4 of a cup of tahini, tablespoon, maybe a little tiny bit less, of the rose blossom water. That just gives it a nice, authentic Lebanese taste, which is super awesome. Now I'm just going to fold this in, mix it up a little. We'll try to get a nice paste going. Now some people put pistachios in, I get it, chocolate and all this other mumbo jumbo. I'm just going to make a basic recipe just to see how it is. Now as soon as I get done with this fork, I'll move it in with the hands. I swear I washed them, I think. I'm not sure. I know I'm not supposed to touch my face. I get it. See how this is starting to clump together now a little bit? That's real nice. That's what you want. So I'm going to start mixing this by hand now. See how we get, how much better it gets. You guys okay with this? The hand? Not putting a glove on. If I could only get back to work at some point in my life, my communist governor Cuomo won't let me work, so now I got to start cooking. Probably gonna end up putting a few pounds on. I'm not sure. We'll see. You see how this is gonna clump together? Okay? And this is the factory stuff. So, you're darn close, right? At some point. Now, I'm not gonna put that in a container like that, a square container, and cut it and all that. I'm going to put it in these little candy forms. So, and again, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. This is the mix. You might want to get it a little bit closer. I might need a little tiny bit of water in here. I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going to see if it actually clumps together. But it seemed to me like that should be a little bit better than that. I'm going to put a little bit of Pam on these forms, just so that it releases easy. And I'm going to start mushing this in. See what happens. And these are eggs. And again, I'm not sure. This is all an experiment. This whole thing could go horribly wrong. I might end up having to throw this out. But we'll see. Seems to me like I need to mash that down. Yeah, that works out better. Oh yeah, the fork. Then the back is nice and smooth. Yeah, I'm just doing this all on the fly here. Let's do a couple rabbits, see how they turn out. So I'm not going to take you through the painful process of filling all of them, but I'm basically going to mash these down, put them in the fridge. Oh, they look good from this side. This side, not so much. So anyway, so on and so forth. Or like I said, you could put it in a block or a dish or something. A little bit of spray, like Pam or whatever, and then it'll release. I'm gonna put these in the fridge, and in a few hours we'll go live again, which is super cool, and see how they turned out.